Order in the court. Thank you. Now, all rise. The Court of Public Opinion is now in session. The Honorable Chief Justice Kristin and Associate Justice Austin presiding. Now calling to trial the multiverse's most controversial social debate topics. They shall be resolved once and for all. You may be seated.
Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion podcast, where we perform mental gymnastics in order to generate outcomes to the most gigantic arguments in the whole Josh dang. You get the gist.
Oh boy.
That was difficult.
Sounds like it. I'm your Chief Justice, Kristin Bradley.
And I am your Associate Justice, Austin Andrade.
Happy Saturday and happy Conflict Resolution Day, everyone.
Yay.
So if you and a loved one are having an argument, today is the day to talk it out and get to loving each other again.
Like Kristin and I, we were just having a little bit of a tiff, and we sorted it out because this is a healthy bond.
And because we have a Molly.
And because we have a dog, a third party to calm the situation down when need be. Thank you, moderator Molly.
Well,
all right, we're looking at weekly updates.
We're looking at weekly updates.
What we got going on this past week?
Well, I posted my first ever IGTV video on Double Down at @DoubleDown_adventures on Instagram, and it was from our great paddleboard adventure in Newport from, I think, probably July. So
yeah, it was a while ago. But yeah,
please go check that out and support our adventure content because I put a lot of effort into it and I'm proud of it. So
yeah, it's a good video too. I wasn't surprised, but I was impressed, to say the least. It came out really well, and it looks like a professional travel vlog video.
I wouldn't go that far.
No? Okay, well.
It was my first video
I dug it.
ever, and it looks like I tried really hard. So
it's only up from here, so, you know?
Truly.
How else do we get to that travel adventure blogger status, if not
we just gotta
starting somewhere?
Keep trying to figure out the video editing software.
Yeah, and I think this is a convenient time to PSA anybody who's considering content creation to just frickin' dive into it. I mean, you can record stuff on your iPhone and then encounter a bunch of troubles on getting your stuff onto your PC from your iPhone if you don't have a Mac, but, you know, it's all a part of the process.
You should have a Mac, huh?
Clearly.
What else? What else do we have?
Okay, yeah, we've got a number of things. I'll shoot them off in quick succession. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So, we had a Wi-Fi crisis at Kristin's house.
True. We drank margs to Michael and Mamala.
#VP debate. And we bought Summoning Evil Spirits for Dummies book because the only way that I'm ever going to win an argument against Kristin will be by making a pact with a demon.
True. But the biggest thing that went down last week for us was the influx of new listeners who all came over from the Time Suck podcast with Dan Cummins.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. Thanks so much to all of the space lizards who heard our voice message on the Secret Suck last week and then came over to listen to the Court of Public Opinion. You guys and gals are all the most amazing fellow cult members that anybody could ever ask for, and we're happy to have you here in the courtroom as well. I honestly felt super duper awkward self-promoting through a larger podcast like that, so the fact that Dan and Joe asked me to do that, and the fact that the Cult of the Curious came over to our show and made our numbers jump so as much as they did, it really means a lot. So thank you guys.
Thanks.
Okay, enough awkwardness. Let's move on to some other updates with a segment that we haven't called out yet. We're going to call it Court of Appeals.
Yeah, I feel like every other time it's been brought up, I've just talked about it because usually it's from my own brother, and I just, riff. So
the very active and engaged Ricky. Thank you.
Shout out to you, buddy.
But this is going to be our segment where we're calling out the people who have sent us emails to CoPOPod@gmail.com. That's CoPOPod@gmail.com, sending us updates and their own additional argument points from our past episode debates. So, Kristin, take it away. This is going to be our first one.
We have our first listener submitted appeal from Geoff, aka Jeff. I don't want to butcher your last name, but it looks like Bistran or Bistran.
Geoff Bistran.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
I hope you find our ignorance charming.
Always.
Well, Geoff sent us an update to our second episode about whether breakfast is classified by time of day or type of food, saying, "Good afternoon, Justices. I just listened to episode 2 on whether breakfast is a type of food or time of day, and I have to say, and this is my favorite thing that I've ever read in my life, Kristin was totally correct, and you, sir, are correct for saying that.
All right.
I would like to submit the below evidence into record, once stated by the glorious prophet of Nimrod himself, Dan Cummins. As he states, blank plus eggs equals breakfast."
Well, you know what, Jeff? You know what? You can have eggs with a meal that isn't breakfast. How about fried rice, or fancy ramen with a fried egg on top, or literally anything that you can bake? Flour plus milk plus sugar plus eggs equals cake. And if you're eating cake after 11:59 a.m., that shit ain't breakfast. So there. Get your head out of your ass, Geoff.
Whoa.
Okay, obviously we appreciate your message. And
some of us more than others. Geoff, I think you are completely correct, and Austin is a sore loser because, let's face it, he agrees with me, and he's the first one to come forward and say that to your face, and you're a little upset about it.
I'm not bitter. # not bitter.
He's bitter.
But I do appreciate the tie-in to the stand-up comedy that you referenced in your email. That was awesome.
So thank you for that. That was awesome. Thanks for agreeing with me. I appreciate it. I hope that you continue to do so in the future, or I might turn into Angry Austin.
And then I have another personal update that doesn't come from a listener, but I discovered while I was editing last episode when I mentioned chakras and chakras, I mispronounced, or I pronounced it correctly the first time, and then I second-guessed myself the second time and said, it's chakra. Well, I did a little bit of internet sleuthing and discovered that it's actually pronounced chakra if you want to say it in the more traditional form. So, technically it can either be said chakra or chakra, but in the Sanskrit form, the more traditional form, it is chakra. I watched a video where this woman named Vicky emphasized that you can pronounce it however you like, but most importantly, just learn what it means and how these bodily energy centers are so important to your life and transformation. So yeah, exercise them chakras. But I'm going to say it like chakras from now on.
Okay.
I feel learned.
Uh-huh. You learned yourself. Are those all of our updates?
Indeed.
All right. Well, it's time to get the energy in our environment ready.
Let's get that energy flowing. What we got?
Today we're going to burn yet another pumpkin-scented tea light in one of our beautiful, magnificent, majestic Himalayan salt tea light holders. It's beautiful, and you're not catching the light on it very well.
Oh, so sorry.
Well.
Yes.
According to sowellmade.com, Himalayan salt lamps, which is basically this but with a light bulb,
okay.
provide color and light therapy, which increase relaxation and reduce stress. Many people purchase salt lamps as a beautiful light source because they emit a healthy glow ranging in color light waves of oranges, yellows, reds, and apricot. Apricot or apricot?
That'll be a future episode.
Sure. The ambient light creates a soothing The ambient light creates a soothing ambiance, okay, that helps with relaxation, stress, attention deficit, I'm getting called
deficit,
out right now. Autism, sleep, and more. Physicians and other practitioners use salt lamps for color therapy or chromotherapy, which is the exact same thing, a well-documented alternative method of diagnosing and treating various illnesses. They seek to balance a person's energy wherever it is lacking, aka physical, spiritual, emotional, or mental. The lamps are also just generally used to positively influence mood, mental state, and energy level because they are beautiful.
I'm hung up on the color therapy is an effective alternative method of diagnosing mental illness. Is that what it said?
It just says various illnesses.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't know.
How does it diagnose?
Hey, can you focus on this salt lamp?
Oh, no. You have lack
You might
of
have
focus.
ADD.
Okay, fair enough. And basically everything else sounded like it's therapeutic because it looks pretty.
As with many things.
Factual. That's why we buy crystals, guys. Because they're pretty.
And they placebo you into thinking that your energy is whatever.
I'm feeling it. Ooh, that one lit so quick. It's going to smell so pumpkin-y. Did you research what pumpkin blended with Himalayan salt does?
No. Pumpkin means you're a basic bitch, and that's what I'm here for.
And I'm pretty sure
So
Himalayan
is a
salt
Himalayan
lamps are
salt
also
lamp.
basic. So
So
we're doubling up the basic today, guys.
We are 3 basic bitches.
Oh, yeah. Molly, there she is. She's our 3rd basic bitch.
All right.
Oh,
Now
and she's
that-
a female dog, too. Yep. I'm with the joke. I get it.
Now that our space is ready and Austin is caught up with the joke I made, which is the second bitch joke I've made today. Welcome. Ready to set up our audience to not be offended by our opinions?
Oh, yeah. So we've got to cover our bases. This is an intentionally argumentative podcast. We choose to take opposing sides of an argument for the sake of entertainment, whether or not our personal values align with it. The Court of Public Opinion podcast and its hosts do not necessarily endorse the views expressed in this program. Please do not pass judgment on our individual characters based on our arguments. We're just here to have a good time, yelling at each other over silly internet debate topics, and ruining an otherwise healthy relationship.
What? Ruining? This is the only time we fight.
This is a bold claim.
Oof. Well, now that that's out of the way, what are we arguing today, Austin?
Today, in all caps and bold, we take on one of the internet's strongest and most divisive arguments. How do you pronounce the word that is spelt G-I-F? AKA, do you pronounce it with a hard G or a soft G? And that being said, I think we need a little bit of context. How did this argument originate, Kristin?
I'll give you all the context you want because Time.com provides a timeline about the pronunciation of the word
Time.com?
G-I-F, like Time Magazine.
Oh, that makes sense. It's just everything to do with time. Time stone, time clock, time for me to shut up now.
Yep. The first ever GIF. Is this how it's going to have to go through the... Okay, whatever. First ever GIF was invented in 1987 at CompuServe. The word GIF is an acronym for Graphics Interchange Format. Steve Wilhite, I assume his last name is, called it a GIF with a soft G. He said, choosy developers choose GIF. And I might add here, an inappropriate appropriation of the peanut butter brand Jif's choosy moms choose GIF slogan.
Yeah, that was the joke. You can't give context that is...
Yes, you can when it's a violation of
partisan.
trademark law.
No,
By
no, no.
1994, the
saying-
pronunciation debate was already in progress. The author of an encyclopedia of image formats said, most people seem to prefer saying a word a different way than GIF. That is, an unofficial majority of people pronounce the word GIF, a seeming switch from the previous pronunciation in the 90s. In November of 2012, the Oxford Dictionary selected GIF as the USA Word of the Year. The dictionary claimed at that time that GIF may be pronounced with either a soft G or a hard G. In April of 2013, the White House announced on its new Tumblr page where it threw down the pronunciation gauntlet, end quote,
Snapples.
with an illustration that told visitors to the page that they can expect in all caps, animated GIFs, hard G. 2013 is also the year we got Giphy, a searchable GIF database.
This is tricky, huh?
This is very hard. In May of 2013, Will Hite defends his pronunciation of GIF by saying that the Oxford Dictionary is wrong. End of story. No explanation, just undefended decision. The internet in 2013 responded with a resounding to Wilhite's declaration. The J.M. Smucker Company, which owns Gif the peanut butter, claimed Gif as their own. It's pronounced Gif, registered trademark symbol referring to the peanut butter. In June of 2014, Barack Obama endorsed hard G GIF. In June of 2014, GIF beat GIF in a survey by 54% to 41%. In July 2016, Newsweek declared it's GIF with a hard G and has a linguistics professor back them up. In February of 2020, Giphy and GIF team up to correct the pronunciation debate. Peanut butter is GIF, graphics are GIFs. And clearly that was not the end of it, because here we are today. That was a really long,
you darn tootin',
rough history to get through when you have to spell out the word every other time.
It's okay, you can just say GIF.
It's GIF.
Well, I guess it's time for our arguments. How about that?
How about that?
How about that? Cash me outside.
How about
How do you spell
that?
cat, or how do you pronounce CATCH?
If you're saying it like her, cash me outside. If you're a normal human being,
You say catch.
catch.
And then how do you say catch-up?
Ketchup.
That's going to be an ongoing thing between us, because I say catch-up.
And everybody tells you you're wrong. I don't know why.
You are the only one who tells me I'm wrong.
Edgar said you're wrong.
Oh, okay. Anyway, arguments. Are we ready? Do you want to start?
No, I don't want to start, because I wrote half of this in response to your stupid first argument.
Oh, well, I changed mine in response to what you wrote.
Can't do that.
Sure I can.
That's cheating, because I was prepared first. You want to mooch off of mine?
I guess that is cheating. I didn't change anything. I omitted things that you were already going to cover.
You still have to go first because of the second sentence I wrote.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
10
minutes.
Ready to go.
And 3, 2, 1, 2. Go.
Good day, your honors, and may it please the court. Austin Andrade on behalf of GIF. It's GIF. Okay. Looking back at our timeline, in June 1987, Steve Wilhite released the graphics interchange format while working for CompuServe, and he called it GIF.
Did I not just say that? Why are you repeating things I already said? Do you not value the time of our listeners?
It is crucial to my argument. He even joke referenced the Gif peanut butter. Okay, fine, I'll skip over that. When a child is born, who gets to decide the name of that child? The parents do. Parents have the right to decide the spelling and pronunciation of their child's name. Steve Wilhite is the parent of Gif. Therefore, his decision on the pronunciation is final.
Wrong.
Just because a bunch of people disagree with his decision to name it that doesn't give them the right to rename it. How do you think your parents would feel if thousands of people just decided your name was pronounced Krystein
I'm sorry.
and then began an all-out war because that is the only way it can possibly be pronounced?
Clearly, you don't know me, because people pronounce my name incorrectly all the time. And do I throw a hissy fit about it? No, I absolutely do not. And do my parents throw a hissy fit about it? No, they absolutely do not.
That's different than a
it's
mass
different because
of people.
it doesn't say what you want it to say. You've been proven wrong. I suggest you move on.
Now, graphics interchange formats don't have any capacity for self-reflection or the cognitive ability to form any level of self-identity or self-choice. So, it can't be up to them to decide what their name wants to be. It's up to the person who created the format to decide how it's meant to be pronounced.
You're so wrong.
I.e., Steve Wilhite.
You used that incorrectly, but continue.
E.g.
Yes.
E.g. Steve Wilhite. But even if you still don't think that the creator of the acronym has the right to decide how it's pronounced, how about the rules of the English language?
Oh, so you're gonna admit that you're wrong?
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to
I'm
prove
sorry.
to
Look
you.
at all these motherfucking words. You are wrong, and I can't wait to prove it.
Oh, stand by. I'm about to prove you wrong.
You never prove me wrong. It's literally never happened.
You haven't even had a chance to prove yourself right yet. The schoolhouse.us, the ESL library, The New Times, a national English language newspaper in Rwanda, and the BBC all agree.
None of these say Oxford or
They are
Webster's
all
Dictionary.
reputable English language learning
Not
websites.
as reputable as Oxford in your own opinion and words from episode whatever the fuck when you decided that a hot dog was a sandwich.
Well, all of these ones agree, and we'll get to Oxford and Merriam. But these four agree that the pronunciation of G depends on the letter that follows it. The general rule is this. If the letter...
You're wrong!
If the letter after G is E, I, or Y...
Oh, you're so fucking wrong!
The pronunciation is a soft G.
Nope.
As in fringe.
You're so dumb.
Hey.
It hurts me.
You
are
stop
so
interrupting.
dumb. It's so
This is
hard
my
not to
time.
interrupt people when they're patently incorrect and stupid at the same time.
The pronunciation is a soft
Look, I
G.
get it. Engineers don't have to English. All you have to do is math and draw cabinets. Why don't you leave it to the person who has to deal with words on a daily basis?
Because I have my time to argue my point.
Not when you're wrong.
That is a fallacy somehow, I'm sure.
It's not.
Think of
Lies
these
have no
examples.
place in the court. I should have had you swear
I
on a
am not
Bible.
lying.
I should have had you swear on a Bible because this
What
was
good
fucking
would that
wrong.
do?
Well, true. You are the devil himself. So,
I thought you were the devil.
and don't you fucking forget it.
Damn right. Okay, if I may,
You may not.
counselor.
No.
If the G is followed by an E, I, or Y, the pronunciation is a soft G, as in fringe. Some other examples of words that start with a soft G are gel, general, giant, gymnastics, giraffe, gentle, gist, and jip. And any other letter that follows requires a hard pronunciation of G, as in progress. And some more examples are game, golf, gasp, great, gone, gold, and gum. And then there are other words that incorporate both G sounds. Luggage and language, garage and garbage, even gigantic. All follow the EIY soft G rule, as well as the any other letter hard G rule. But what about words like give and
I'm
girl
sorry.
and gear?
Excuse me? Fucking change your tone.
But what about other words like get, give, girl, and gear? Okay, so there are some exceptions to the G rule, but let's take a moment to look at that argument. There are estimated to be 1 million words in the English language, and statistically, 1.95% of them start with the letter G. That's 19,500 words starting with G. Based on a Wikipedia appendix list of exceptions to the soft G rule, there are only about 50 words on that list starting with the letter G. 50 G words out of a potential 19,500 is about 0.25% of G words that don't follow the soft G rule. Even double that with a wide factor of error, and that's still only 0.5% of G words that don't like to follow the rules. Now, despite being so commonly used,
Quote,
words
that don't like to follow the rules. Words don't have decisions. You just said that your fucking self.
I was being
Stupid. Continue.
what's the right word? It was like
3
a
minutes.
metaphor. Despite being so commonly used, words like get and give are exceptions
Wrong.
to the rule,
Wrong.
and they represent the minority.
Nope.
The only reason
What do you know about minorities?
Now, the only reason they are exceptions is because, God, now I feel so awkward. I
As you
know
should.
of my privilege. I don't want it, okay?
So to every white man ever.
The only reason they are exceptions is because there isn't any other way to spell these words in a phonetically unambiguous way.
I suggest you move on. You
Okay.
have 3 minutes.
The statistics behind the exceptions of the soft G rule, which is not nearly enough evidence to justify pronouncing GIF as GIF instead of GIF. And one last bit of info for you from the BBC Learning of the English Language website on linguistic rules governing the pronunciation of G. Typically, if a word derives from German, it's usually a hard G. But if it is the Latin or French derivative, it's a soft G. This adds to the assertion that GIF uses the soft G sound because the word graphic from the GIF acronym originated from the mid-17th century Latin and Greek graphikos.
There are 2 problems with that proposition.
Okay.
1, You pulled the Greek root out of your butthole. All you said was Latin or French.
I mean, I could have just emphasized the Latin.
You should have, because that kind of just makes your argument dumb. The word graphicos and graphics are both hard G's.
But then the acronym
is
changed.
GIF.
Yeah.
But the first word is G. So why would anybody in their right mind be like, yup, totally GIF?
Because
nobody in their right mind thinks that. You're all in your wrong minds. There is no explanation.
In this
no,
case,
there is no explanation.
There is.
You're wrong.
In this case,
incorrect.
We're grabbing from a basically.
So you expect
assuming that
the
it's up in the
average
air.
human being to go back to Latin roots and Greek, but you decided not to mention that, and decide that just because something is derived from a Latin root, that the acronym for that has to be J, and you expect them to do all of those mental acrobatics to get there when you yourself don't possess the ability to do so?
If everything else is a crapshoot and it's still completely up in the air, this is just another like little thing that
This
pushes it to that side of the fence.
No sense.
All right. Well, even if you insist that the creator of the word GIF cannot govern how it is
Which I
pronounced,
do.
the basic rules of the English language can and do determine definitively that it is pronounced GIF.
And here's
End
why
of
you're
argument.
wrong.
Your turn to argue now.
It is my turn, and here's why you're wrong.
Ready?
I
3,
wouldn't even start that if I were you. I'm obviously going over time because you're super wrong. Good day, your honors, and may it please the court. Kristin Bradley on behalf of GIF. Austin, you're a moron.
You break the rules.
I'm submitting. Of
she
course
makes the
I do.
rules.
I not only do I make the rules, but I've suffered enough at the hands of you in my life, so I deserve this.
Brutal.
Again, your argument is dumb, and I'm submitting your case to Is We Dumb. Today is just as bad as your flat earth argument, in my opinion. But if we want to play the game, we're going to play the game. The first segment of my argument is brought to you by howtoreallypronounceGIF.com, and secondarily, from my brain. Hard G is the most logical way to pronounce GIF, and I know a lot about logic because I go to law school, and that is literally on the entrance exam. Every normal person, emphasis on normal because you're obviously not, that comes across the word GIF for the first time pronounces it correctly with a hard G. Austin is thinking at this point, how is that the logical pronunciation? Well, let me tell you, buddy. Every word that starts with G, then a vowel, then an F, is pronounced with a hard G. Want some examples? I have plenty.
I
Gaffy,
gave you plenty of examples that are
Gaffy, gift, guff, guffaw. Moreover, most one-syllable words that start with G have a hard G. More examples: gab, gag, gal, gam, gas, gow, gig, gill, gourd, girl, goal, give, game, gone, etc., etc., etc. The most important example is the word gift. It's literally GIF with a T. Imagine how dumb you would sound, well, how much dumber if you said gift. Come on, man. Use your noodle.
My noodle?
By this point, Austin is like, there are words in one of those categories that use soft G. Well, sir, let me refute that before you can even begin to sound off. First of all, gin is not a good example. It's a drink derived from juniper berries. So its name is from Dutch Genever for juniper. The word GIF is not derived from another language with the word where a word starts with J. In fact, it is an acronym derived from English words. The first word of which is graphic, pronounced with hard G, but we already went into that, and I'm not like you, so I'm not going to reiterate. Your explanation for this point is severely lacking, so I invite you to try to refute, but you can't. Your argument is, it is what it is because that's what it is. Sorry, buddy. In this country, that's not good enough. The court requires cold, hard evidence, and you have none. Okay, bye. Gem is also not a good example because it comes from the Latin word gemma for jewel, an English word deriving from another English word spelled with a J, not a G. This word does not help your case. Sorry, not sorry. It is an abbreviation of a larger word which inherited their pronunciation. Same goes for hard G, GIF. Now, you didn't bring up JPEG, but you should have, because I'm going to have so much fun refuting that argument that should have happened. You're correct. And just that, because an acronym takes its spelling from the words it is derived from, does not mean that it is pronounced according to those words. Again, see JPEG. However, don't get too comfortable being right for even a millisecond, because you're still wrong as fuck. Pronunciations of acronyms follow pronunciation rules like any other regular word. Like I said before, single syllable words starting with G followed by a vowel ending with F are always pronounced with a hard G. And none of the ones you provided me, by the way, ended with F. So, bye.
Giraffe.
Doesn't end with an F.
Fine.
And most other single syllable G words are pronounced with a hard G, and the ones that are not are easily explained by their roots. Essentially, the word graphic is helpful to the hard G point, but not essential. The J in JPEG followed by pronunciation of the first word. The P follows pronunciation rules for words in general. Your point is now moot. You're welcome. You didn't make it, but I'm still going to say it's moot. I can see those teeny tiny little wheels spinning, but I'm going to invite you to wait your turn. Let's talk about whether Austin's argument has any merit whatsoever in general.
All right.
Austin, along with some other unfortunate suckers, Austin, along with some other unfortunate suckers, would like to argue yes because Steve Wilhite said so. Sorry, in this country, we don't just take one person's word for something. But Kristin, he's the creator of the... Yeah, let me stop you right there. He's not God or Molly or even a linguist.
He's just a parent.
No. So no, he is not the all-powerful decision maker of the pronunciation of the word GIF. Also, what is this man's argument? It's pronounced GIF because I say so? Not buying it. And your God complex, sir, please come off your high horse and see your own idiocy for what it is. I can see that you're still not convinced. And your jaw is on the floor right now. So let me throw you this...
You're throwing mad shade at Steve.
This fun curveball you weren't expecting. John Simpson, chief editor of the Oxford English Dictionary. Yeah, that's right. I'm using your own shit against you. Our friend John Simpson says that Wilhite is wrong. However, he quote, however, the pronunciation with a hard G is now very widespread and readily understood. A coiner effectively loses control of a word once it's out there. And you know what backs that shit up? Trademark law. Boom.
Oh.
Knowledge from law school. You're welcome, bitch.
Lawyered.
It's called secondary meaning. Once a product or idea or whatever you want to call this bullshit picks up secondary meaning, the consumer's mind, that interpretation controls. Because the internet generally agrees without Wilhite's input that it's pronounced GIF, he has lost control over how it's pronounced. Consumers control, and you, my friend, are in the sad minority. Also, in your own words, Oxford Dictionary controls in the English language. If they say it's a hard G, it's hard G GIF. Period. No disrespect intended. Just kidding. Take this with all the disrespect you can. Take this with all the disrespect you can imagine, Wilhite. You brought this debate on yourself because you chose the illogical pronunciation of the word by all accounts. Get over yourself, you basic.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Now, I bet you wish I was done, but I'm not.
Nope.
And I have a few more things to add, mainly about trademark law because I already brought it up and I'm in fucking law school. GIF is peanut butter. I brought up secondary meaning before. Let's discuss how it actually affects someone's legitimate business. GIF and Giphy actually put on a joint campaign to correct the internet pronunciation of GIF. As you might expect, GIF is not too keen on the soft G pronunciation because they built an entire brand on that word. That means peanut butter. And let me put this into some hopefully easier words to understand. Trademark law is very complex. So, brand names are categorized into categories. Yes, I was about to say that.
Makes sense.
Based on how inventive the word they've chosen for their product is. Because GIF was not a word before the peanut butter company came up with it. It has high protection. So if someone tries to take that away from them, they're going to get smacked down by the law of the United States of America.
Even if it's spelt differently?
Yeah, spelling does not
it's all about
matter. It's about how
word?
it's
Oh.
how it sounds. Lawyered.
Honestly, that was very educational.
GIF VP of Marketing Rebecca Schilder said in a press release, there is only one GIF. It's creamy, delicious peanut butter, not a looping picture you can send to make your friends or family laugh. Read emphasis on the word creamy for peanut butter.
Creamy. Oh, no. Crunchy peanut butter. We decided this.
Nope.
Crunchy all the
You're
way.
wrong in 2 respects now.
So
Gif
rude.
went so far as to make and sell peanut butter jars correcting your mispronunciations. On the Gif jar, it says Gif, animated looping images, hard G pronunciation. On the Gif jar, it says Gif, creamy peanut butter,
No.
soft G pronunciation. And there you have it, folks. The pronunciation for Gif is hard G Gif. It's brand protection. I'm basically done, but I'll leave you with this quote from President of the United States former President of the United States Barack Obama from 2014 when he was in office. So this is fucking law. Was he in office? Yeah, he was in office in 2014. This is fucking law. He endorsed the hard G pronunciation. He said, "That is my official opinion, and I second that shit. It's law." The end.
Was it an executive order?
Do you even know what that means?
Nope.
You just lost. Hard. In many ways.
So hard. Like the G.
All I have to say is, if your main argument is that because one person said that's how it's pronounced, you might want to write a new argument.
Well, most of my argument was the G rule
Which
with
is
the EIY.
Not correct.
How?
Exactly when I listed all the words, especially when something is spelled with a G next to vowel and then ends in an F. Hard G.
Okay, so when you apply all of those parameters, then...
Why would I apply your rule when mine is the only one that matters? What?
I don't know how to continue on.
Also, I'd like to point out that peanut butter is creamy.
It can be.
It's best
It's
creamy,
not better.
according to Jif,
Oh,
the peanut butter company.
I think right now is a good time to take a little ad break.
Creamy peanut butter!
Okay, and we're back.
How does it feel to be wrong on 2 arguments now?
Just 2?
All of them,
I've
but
only been on
in one argument, I got you on 2 arguments. It's due for...
I think it's time for expert opinions. Let's hear what they've got to say. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I can go first.
Yes, please do.
All right. I've got for you guys a Quora article. I'm back on the Quora.
Back on the Quora train.
And the question is, how do you pronounce GIF? Lance
By my tongue.
Lance Berg says, I like to say GIF like gift with a silent G. So if.
So ift? Lance? Where's Lance from? What does Lance do? Lance's shenanigans.
Also, Lance Berg said this. To all the people who pronounce GIF like GIF, I hope you don't jet a Christmas gift this year.
Lance, that hurts. And it's only a few months away. Why would you wish that on us? Lance?
Are you gonna cry?
Why, Lance? I want my Christmas gift.
Dan Holiday, whose job title simply says, I read, wrote, This is my only existing rule that permits me to strangle someone to death in front of their shrieking children, friends, or coworkers. It's fucking pronounced Jif, like the goddamn peanut butter. Fuck me sideways. Get it right, people.
Well, Dan, I agree. Coming on a little strong, but...
You would like to strangle people to death in front of their children? And
in front of their shrieking children,
yeah,
specifically.
Okay.
No quiet kids for this strangling.
All right. Sociopath.
Soundproof them walls. Hear the screams.
All right. Moving on. What do you have?
I have comments from the Theo Joe How to Pronounce GIF YouTube video. This is where I got a lot of my argument points from Theo Joe, because he has a strong opinion.
All men do, don't they?
Oh, boy. He's a white dude, too.
Rough.
But one of his viewers, user Peachy Jin, commented a year ago saying, people be arguing about if it's GIF or GIF when I'm here pronouncing it Jeff.
You're fucking wrong. That's what you are, Peachy Gin.
Oh, Peachy Gin.
Why? It's an I. I don't get it.
I think he was just trying to be funny, and it got me good enough to put it on the podcast. So there you go.
Yeah, wherever you are,
it's
Peachy.
Jeff. Imagine if Steve Wilhite was like, guys, it's Jeff. Come on, guys. Graphics interchange format. Jeff, duh.
That would only further my disdain for that human.
I wonder if it would throw the internet debate into like a deeper turmoil maelstrom of argument, or if people would just be like, all right, Steve, you just lost all of your credibility and it's GIF, so get the fuck out of here.
Considering most of the internet already threw him down the toilet when he tried to make it GIF, I think they would further throw him.
But he tried to make it GIF back in 1987.
And it didn't work then, and it didn't work now.
Damn. I stand firmly by Steve, okay? Steve, I'm with you. And
well, that's unfortunate.
It's
isn't
me
it?
and 41% of other people on the internet. We are tiny but mighty.
Nope.
Group who think it's GIF.
The optimal word being think.
Believe.
We know
it's a belief
GIF.
system. Yours is a belief system too. It's all a belief system.
Molly thinks it's GIF, so that's the word of Molly.
Molly's sleeping.
Molly is
speak.
God. That is the word of God.
I have another comment from a different YouTube video from the Hello Generic YouTube channel. Their YouTube video, it's pronounced GIF. In this video, there are two characters who are talking about how to pronounce the GIF acronym. And at one point in the video, the one character asks the other, is there anything I can do to convince you? What if the voice of God himself told you it's pronounced GIF? And then, down in the comments section, user Deepified replied to the YouTube video 4 whole years ago. Remember then? It was a different time. It was a different world 4 years ago.
Was it?
Totally. Deepified's comment says, I think you meant the voice of Jod. Jokester. Deepified. You ever thought about putting the soft G on God? Jod?
No.
Jod, damn it.
I tend not to think about God often.
What about Josh?
Gosh.
Josh dang, holy heck, Josh dang.
That doesn't really work, does it?
No. It's kind of fun.
I'm going to take you guys over to Reddit under the r/notstupidquestions. Really, is GIF pronounced GIF or GIF? This is Balls says.
This is Balls. Sorry, I'm a juvenile mind. This underscore is underscore balls.
Says, it's pronounced the same way as giant and gift.
Oh, what a dick.
You mean ball?
Sorry, this is balls. It's almost like it was on purpose.
Whoa.
I think this is the kind of user who always posts trolly comments like that to literally anything. He, she, they.
Profile picture is that troll meme. You know, the one that's like.
Wait, it actually was?
No.
Oh, you're making jokes now. Look at you, jokester. That sounded gross. Sorry to all the listeners who had to hear that. What's your next expert opinion?
I went to the BuzzFeed video. Do you know how to pronounce GIF? And Zotaic says, how do you pronounce who the hell cares?
Oh, somebody's apathetic.
Then why'd you watch the video, Zotaic? Sounds like a waste of your own time.
Mm-hmm. That's like leaving a 1-star review on a place you never went to.
Hey. Drove by. Didn't go in.
Didn't care for it. 1 star.
I've got another comment from Ted Cruz ate my son.
What? Oh, man.
The username's on YouTube.
You people and your usernames.
Well.
Well, I hope you find your son.
No, because Ted Cruz ate him.
Ted Cruz.
He's going to poop him out.
He ate his son. It nourished him so well that Ted Cruz grew a beard. those hair follicles are the remnants of your son.
Why are you like this?
I don't know.
All right. Well, Ted Cruz Ate My Son says, so pronouncing it as GIF is the wrongest thing a person... Oh, by the way, in the YouTube video, some BuzzFeed worker says to the person who says GIF that it's the wrongest thing they've ever heard. So Ted Cruz Ate My Son is responding to that by saying, so pronouncing it as GIF is the wrongest thing a person could do. That is the intelligentest thing I've ever heard.
I was going to comment on that. Because the wrongest is the wrongest.
Right. That's why it has an EST at the end.
You get it.
Yeah. It is the wrongest.
The most wrongerest.
And so that is the most intelligenterest.
You darn right.
Thing I've ever heard. I done ever heard.
I got the biggest dunned intelligenterest brain in all the landest.
Wow, that took a lot of effort to get, didn't it?
It sure did. That's how much brain power I was using.
It doesn't have a lot. This next one from Bob Diddleman. Yes, I said Bob Diddleman. That is literally what it said. Diddleman. It's concerning. You don't see a problem with that?
No, what's wrong with that?
Diddleman. He diddles men.
No, it's just one man.
He diddles a man.
Well, if that's what he's got to do.
No, diddle man means that he like diddles for a living, right?
Well, this is a lot more speculation into a YouTube username that I
feel
thought we were
bad
going to.
because what if his last name is actually Diddleman?
What if his name is actually Robert Diddleman? I mean, in that case, he has no... He, she, they. Could be a Lady Bob. Maybe they had no decision in their surname. And now that YouTube is like connected with Google, it might just be his Google account name. So maybe Bob.
So is
Bobbert Diddleman.
What if someone's Google account username was Ted Cruz Ate My Son?
Whoa.
Do you think Google would be okay with that? Well, obviously they are because they own YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
The point is, we don't know what Bob Diddleman's done to any men, and if he's diddled
that's
them, we
his
don't approve
job.
of that, or if it's his job and he's getting paid for that
Isn't
shit.
it fine if they consent?
I always thought the word diddle implied lack of consent.
Oh.
But maybe, you know what? I can't speak to this, so let's hear the comment.
Bob Diddleman says, I say GIF. I can tolerate you saying GIF, but if you pronounce it as GIF, you are inhuman. GIF.
Agreed. Who pronounces it GIF?
Or is it GIF?
It could be GIF. I mean, it can't be GIF. You can't pronounce GIF as GIF. That's wrong, obviously. But GIF, well, there's like G's, like, geez. That's Geez, which is sort of like this Geef they're trying to pull here. Bob, you're confusing me, and I feel awkward because we have made some allegations against you that may or may not be true.
We didn't make any allegation. We were just making fun of his last name.
Well, I'm sorry if that's the name you were born with.
How do you end up... Okay, I'm not going to go there. But how do you end up with a last name like Diddleman?
It's just...
What if we're pronouncing it wrong? What if it's Diddle?
Didlayman.
Oh, Diddleman. Diddleman.
Didliman. Nope, that doesn't sound better. We're really hung up on this Diddleman thing, guys.
Diddleman. Nope. Okay.
I think we've exhausted all of the possible pronunciations of that.
Sorry, Bob.
Sorry, Bob.
It is what it is.
Sorry, Peanuts.
Sometimes if you have a last name that can be made fun of, it will be made fun of by people who suck, and that's us.
As it should be. I just gotta take a joke. He knows his name is Diddleman. Like Dan knows his last name is Cummins. It's the same thing.
All right. This last one
okay.
comes from Aaron Reed Soslik, who says, I personally don't give a crap how someone says it. I personally say it with a hard G. But the moment someone tries to argue with me or say I'm wrong, I will cut them. And honestly, that's the most relatable thing I've ever seen on the internet.
Solid.
Agreed?
Please don't cut me.
Agreed. I already did with my words. Remember? I called you a moron at the very beginning.
Yeah. Cut like a knife through cheese.
Cut through the heart.
That's a shot, not a cut. Come on.
Haven't you heard of parody?
Cut through the heart and you're to blame?
No. You can't keep going.
Oh.
Because then you're just changing one word. It's no longer a parody. We gotta
parodies the whole song.
What?
It's like, no, I don't know.
I don't know what you were trying to say.
I don't either. Are those all of your expert opinions, Kristin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've got one more, and it's from... Oh, wait. Hey, you already used this in your argument. Rude.
You can repeat it for the masses, because I'm sure they checked out during my lecture.
My last expert opinion is from the Vice President of Marketing for the Gif Peanut Butter Company, Rebecca Schneidler, where she said in a press release, you already heard this, she said in a press release, "We're teaming up with Gif V to put a lid on this decade-long debate and prove there's only one Gif. It's creamy, delicious peanut butter, not a looping picture you can send to make friends and family laugh."
Creamy peanut butter.
Yeah. Eye roll.
Hey, you put it in your...
I prepared that before I knew what you were going to say in your argument, so forgive us peanuts for the redundancy, but I thought it was going to make for a good expert opinion. Turns out it made for a good argument point in Kristin's argument. Rude.
I did nothing wrong.
Well, that there is the debate, y'all.
And obviously...
Oh, verdict.
How do we pronounce the word GIF?
The Merriam-Webster and Oxford English dictionaries say that it can be pronounced either way.
No. Who won? Let's be real.
Let's be real.
It's pronounced GIF.
And that's the T.
And that's the T.
And that's
sis.
the G. Oh.
That was lame. All right.
Here we are.
If there's anything you think we missed, you can email us your thoughts, updates, and additional debate points to CoPOPod@gmail.com. That's CoPOPOD@gmail.com. Just put Court of Appeals in the subject line.
Just like Geoff did.
Thanks, Geoff.
Thanks, Geoff.
We know your name is Jeff. Please don't get mad. Or you can send us future argument suggestions by putting debate about it in the subject line. What are we arguing next week? It's a good one, everybody.
Oh, we're so excited. I'm sure that you all know of the beloved 1993 Tim Burton stop-motion film, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Well, in celebration of the spoopy season that we are now all in, we are going to discuss what kind of movie The Nightmare Before Christmas is exactly. Is it a Halloween movie, or is it a Christmas movie? Find out next week! And thank you so much for listening to the Court of Public Opinion podcast, a Loaded Dice production.
If you'd like to hear more of Austin, which I'm sure you do not,
Ooh.
he stars... I mean, come on, listen to it for the other people, not Austin. He stars in another Loaded Dice production podcast, D&Derailed, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign set in modern-day Griffon City. It has kick-ass soundtrack, some fine feathered friends, and their dungeon master, Jordan, is a fantastic storyteller. Hey, Jordan is also in the Cult of the Curious, so check it out, fam. So if you're into D&D or you just like stories and stuff, go look up D&Derailed, the Griffon City Chronicles, wherever you listen to podcasts. Highly recommend that.
Yeah, and that's Griffon City, Griffon.
Right. And remember, you're not doing this for Austin. You're doing it for Jordan.
That's fair.
Okay.
Well, you can also follow the Court of Public Opinion podcast on Instagram at CoPOPod, and you can follow our adventure and travel Instagram at _adventures, where you can see us doing adventure shit like going on hikes or camping trips or paddleboarding, culty things.
Check out that IGTV video I just posted, and please don't be mean to me if you think it sucks. If you
it's
like,
good, guys, it's good.
He has to say that. If you like the podcast, please go into Apple or Google Podcasts to rate and review. Seriously, written reviews are what bring podcasts up in the charts and into the ear holes of more people like you. So if you could do that, it would mean the world to us. Sorry, Austin's grammar sucks. I love you.
And if you love / can't get enough of the Court of Public Opinion podcast, you can support the court and join the jury on patreon.com/CoPOPod. Patreon.com/CoPOPod.
I think they get it.
Okay.
I think they're about as tired as when I spelled GIF out 24 times in the intro.
Well, if you do check out that patreon.com/CoPOPod, you will get access to possibly early release episodes, depending on my editing schedule, bonus videos, and bloopers, and more.
Yeah.
Isn't that so exciting? Now, Kristin, what amazing people do we have to thank who supported the court this week?
We have the Frankie Kerstetter. I think I got that right.
That's right. You got it.
Finally,
Yeah.
on our jury, who we appreciate the mostest in the world. He's
the mostest intelligentist.
the mostest intelligenterist. Look at Molly's face. I can't. She knows we're talking about Frankie, who we love.
Her ears perked up. Frankie, you've got a fan.
Oh my God.
And it's our dog.
She loves you. Wow. That's an honor. It's truly an honor. Molly is God. Remember that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your monthly donation, Frankie, to the Court of Public Opinion. Your contribution allows us to really focus on this content and provide you with these quality arguments every week.
Quality.
Mine was quality.
Mine was
Quality.
subpar as
It
usual.
was
Let's be honest.
quality.
You're hilarious.
'Cause you're...
You know that?
I am.
You're so funny.
I know. We got lots of emails about it. And lastly, special thanks to Nathen Ruiz
For designing the Court of Public Opinion podcast logo.
AJ Curtin,
For writing, recording, and producing our theme song.
and to Gerard Marquez.
For being the voice of our bailiff at the beginning of every single episode.
We will catch you guys next Saturday for Nightmare Before Christmas, and have an awesome week, Peanuts. This court session is adjourned.
Is that the right way? How is it normally ended?
Court is adjourned. Bring in the dancing lobsters. The dancing Molly. Hold on, I'm gonna grab her.
Bring in the dancing Molly.